Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is time for round 5 of the Tuatara Championship. Today, we are at the Hungarian Grand Prix and we're in the comms box, once again joined by TK. TK, are we ready for this one?
Oh, I cannot wait. It's going to be a great one. Hungary is such a great circuit, especially in F1 esports. And yeah, so much to look forward to.
It is indeed. It's one of those tracks, isn't it, that, qualifying is it helps a lot because there's not many overtaking opportunities. You can overtake here, but you can also defend very, very well. So it'll be interesting to see the two dynamics of attack and defense in this race and to see how these drivers fare. And remember, these guys are so quick and it's so close, isn't it?
Oh yeah, there's a second between first and 15th. I think we saw last time around in Austria. So it's so important to get a good qualifying lap in.
It is indeed. So qualifying has started, but before we get into that, let's take a look at the team lineup.
I can't remember which order this goes in. Can you yell at me which order it goes in?
AlphaTauri, you've got Sorry. Alpine, we got Gagli and Nathan Clark in the Alpine cars. Out there today, the Aston Martin, we've got AVC Wobble and I See You. Next up is the Ferrari of Mansu and MK6, but unfortunately MK6 lost his seat and it's now F1 Alex. I've got to change that thing there. J Field then in the Haas with the Slapbus, a very big contender for the championship, Slapbus. Expo and F1 Lewis in the McLaren. Up next is the Mercedes of Carlson and Sam. I was speaking to Sam today and he's not happy with the first half of the season and he's looking to really perform out there today. In the Red Bull then we have TJ, Chris and Eric. Unfortunately, Eric has lost his seat in the Red Bull and he's replaced by... who's he replaced by? Xbox Culver, Bumble Goblin and Matthew Caruana in the Williams. Matthew Caruana is another contender, although be it halfway through the season, it's anyone's game at this point. And the Alfa Romeo Oyster and Alfa Romeo's Oyster and Icebreak. So there we have it. There we have the team lineup. And talk us through the championship at the minute. Obviously, it's round 5 today, and it's fairly close, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so close. Carlson currently leads on 59 points. He had a really bad week last week in Austria, only scoring 1 point. So he'll be looking for a good comeback here at Hungary. Second up is Slapbus and Matt Caruana currently in 3rd place. So the pro driver showing his ability with a run of good, consistent results. Again, apart from last week where he scored no points in Austria.
Wow, interesting.
The rest of the field is pretty laid out. TGT Chris in the Red Bull, Expo in the McLaren, Gagli, F1 Lewis, Wildpole and Z92 make up your top 10. There's a lot of non-scorers at the moment, pretty much from F1 Alex down. So that's F1 Alex, Sam, Eric, who's obviously lost his seat.
What's interesting is you were explaining earlier before we went live, is that the top 6 are covered by a race win. Which is so close, be it only 4 races in. This is the 5th race, so we're on the halfway mark today. So it just proves that, if you turn on the screw right now, there's 5 more races after this to really make a dent. It can be done. It's so close out there, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely right. Like we were saying, it's a race win that can literally jump you up from 6th to 1st as this stands. So it's still all to play for going into round 5 here.
Yeah, and we've got a few guys in the chat, including the Tuatara themselves, welcoming me back after missing last week. I was a little bit poorly last week, but I'm back! And without further ado, let's get in to the qualifying session. 14 minutes left then, TK. What's going on out there at the minute?
Well, at the moment, Sam, who was disappointed with his first half of the season, has set the fastest lap of the session so far. I say that as Chris beats him by about 2/10, but we've got 6 drivers who currently set a lap around about the 15s and 16s. We're expecting maybe into the 14s as well.
Well, let's ride on board with Matthew Caruana at the minute, scoring no points, you say, last week, so he'll be looking for a bounce back as well around this Hungarian circuit. Let's have a look to see what his benchmark is out there. Now remember, Matthew Caruana is a pro racing driver for Kimura Racing, but mainly in iRacing along the GT3 cars and the Formula 4 cars. So he's fairly new to to the Formula One game. He went very wide there, but didn't invalidate his lap. I don't think this is going to be setting the charts alive here, but we'll keep on board with him and see what he comes up with at the end of this. Now coming around the last horseshoe bend into the last turn. It's important to get a good exit out of this one. It's very loads of different lines, isn't there? You can take on the last bend, isn't it?
Yeah, and the line is so different from the dry and the wet. The wet line takes a much wider approach angle out of that turn. So you've got to really know your variance, especially when it comes to changing weather conditions around here.
Indeed. So 1:15.9 then from Matthew Caruana, and as you can see, a lot of people in the 1:15s. But do you reckon we'll see 1:14s today?
Almost certainly, especially as this is so early on in the qualifying session. We've already hit the 15.1s. I know a few drivers have been bragging about getting 1:14s in qualifying, in time trial preparations before this. Oh. So who knows what we'll see.
Just riding on board. Oh God, he nearly went in the back of his teammate there. Nathan Clark just invalidated his lap time, but his teammate was going ever so slow there, just avoiding contact. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but Gagli may be on his in-lap there and distracting his teammate a little bit, but as both do dive into the pits.
Well, Carlson then is your provisional pole sitter, just setting a lap time there in a 1:15.1, pretty much, just a tenth off the 1:14 mark.
Yeah, I reckon we'll definitely see the 1:14s here if the track starts to develop, the rubber gets laid down, and our drivers do find their lines around here.
So we've got F1 Alex then on an out lap, and let's talk through this lap then. He's going to come round. We're going to ride on board with F1 Alex because he is on an out lap, yet to set a lap time. He's a streamer himself, F1 Alex, and he does push out some decent content as well. So if you want to give him a follow, or I'm sure he'll be live. I'm pretty sure he streams on Facebook. It does F1 Alex. He's pulling over at the minute. There's a guy. Mercedes coming. He wants to get as much space in as possible, doesn't he?
Tell you what, that's a lot of foresight to look that far back and judge that there's a car coming and pull over in good time.
Yeah, I mean, will it affect his tyres in the warm-up process? Because, he's got a fairly empty track behind him and in front of him. There's only the Alfa Tauri behind him. So I don't know if that was necessary, but we'll see how the tyres fare on this last sector. It looks like he's trying to get ready for it, and we'll talk you through a lap around this Hungarian Grand Prix at the Budapest. And the Mercedes has got out the way again. So here we go. Right on board with F1 Alex then to start his lap. TK, take us through this one.
Yeah, here we go then. Round the final bend of this out lap. It's a 180 degree to the right. Gets the DRS of the Ferrari open and heads down towards turn one. It's a weird kind of 100 degree coming back on yourself turn as the the gradient of the hill changes as well. Round to the right, DRS open almost midway through that turn, so you've got to be able not to unstable the car as you get that open. Into another 180 left here as we head down the hill in Hungary. And a nice kink to the right. Easy to lose the car here, especially if you're going too wide in the race. As we end sector one hit with a 27.4. Good sector time there for the Ferrari. Into sector two now. More technical of the three sectors, especially this latter part as we come through the chicane. You can ride these curves, but especially not the higher parts of them. You will lose lap time if you decide to do so. Round the left and right S's through sector two. He does well there, using all the track to his advantage. And he sets himself up well for sector 3 here, which is probably the slowest part of the track. You've got two 180 turns in quick succession as we set up for that here. He'll use all the track on his right hand side to get a good angle of approach. Use all of the curb on the inside, and then this is where you choose your line. Do you go wide and tuck in, or stick in from the outset? But he's got wide, tucked back in, he's hugging that right hand wall. Out, uses all the wall and the DRS open. What's the lap time going to be for Alex?
It's a 1:16.3, so not a great lap there from F1 Alex, but it is a banker lap, and it's up there. It's on the timing tables.
Yeah, it's a good banker lap. 14th place is not a bad place if you're sticking your banker in. And like you said, you've still got 9 and a bit minutes left of this qualifying session with when the track's still improving. Indeed.
Now, talking about Sam earlier today in the stream, talking about how he's out there to improve today. He's not happy with the first half of the season here in the Tuatara Championship, but he's out to impress today, he says. He's been putting a lot of time in, and it is showing. 3rd place at the minute with a low 1:15, which is not a bad showing for him.
Yeah, I've sometimes found that Hungary is a track that really benefits some drivers a lot more than the others, and Sam is really making that car work round here at the moment.
Yeah, let's go on board with Nathan Clark then. He's one of the only driver out at the minute that hasn't set a lap time in the Alpine car. What can Nathan Clark know? Nathan Clark is a driver that can be at the top, but he can also be right at the back. Very strange is Nathan Clark. He can be fighting with the best, but he also can struggle as well, depending on what track. He has his favourites, doesn't he?
He definitely does, and I feel sometimes when he faces those moments, he drops to the back of the grid. He sometimes gets in his own head a little bit, and that affects his race, so he can't pull up as much as he wanted to.
Well, his first lap time then is a 1:15.8, so he's in the top 10 as it stands, and I'm sure he'll be wanting to improve on that with 7 minutes left to go in the session. But let's keep an eye on these top guys at the minute. Gagley up there as well, but no one in the 114s yet, TK.
Not yet. We are literally hundredths of seconds off here. It's so close. But speaking of how close everything is, there's less than a second between first and 14th here.
It looks like TGD Chris took an extra outlap here, but he's on a hot lap. So is Carlson as well. Now let's ride on board with Carlson. Let's see if he can improve and get into the 114s. But keep an eye on Chris, because Chris is ahead of him in the Red Bull. And these two are definitely going to be challenging for pole position here.
Yeah, almost certainly. You're saying about that second outlap, it's what a lot of other mediums call a preparation lap. So they have their outlap, then they have their prep lap, and then they go for it. It's not something you typically see in Formula One. It's more of a supercar or a hypercar sort of thing. But we have seen it work, especially in the 22-23 season at the moment, with the new reg of cars.
Yeah. But not seem to be working for Chris. He was a 10th down on first sector. Let's see if he's clawed that back through sector 2. And he's almost level with his time. If he does improve through sector 3, he can maybe get on provisional pole. But it seems like he just didn't get that sector 1 right, and that's kind of stopped him in his tracks. And he's gone into the pit, and so has the Mercedes of Carlson as well. So both of them drivers not getting it right there on the second run here at the Hungarian qualifying.
Yeah, Carlson seems to invalidate his lap time, so he'll obviously be diving in fresh set of tyres because he knows that he can't deal with the dig this early.
Well, Mansu then is going to set another lap time, currently in 5th place. Is he improving? We're going to find out very, very shortly in the El Ferrari. What is it going to be? It's a 1:15.185. Puts him on the first front row of the grid provisionally. But look at these times getting ever so close now as we come further and further deeply into this qualifying session. Not long left to go now, TK.
Yeah, this is where the track's really started to develop. 5 and a bit minutes left on the clock. The drivers have done enough pushing here where the rubber is laying down. The track becomes that much more grippy. And so the drivers will be able to find a little bit of extra pace out of each and every turn.
Everyone is, there's a lot of drivers in the pits getting ready for this last run. I think the drivers know so much how this game, in that last few minutes, how much the time does change. It gives you the best opportunity to get the best time and the best out of this car. And that's why you're seeing a lot of cars at the minute in the pits getting ready for that last moment to get out there. F1 Alex, however, down in 17th place at the minute. You've got one Ferrari on the front row provisionally, and you've got the other one down in 17th. Can he improve? He's on a run here. Let's see what his sector 2 times are looking like.
Across that timing mark, it's going to be so close. And Alster in the chat saying used tyres aren't the play here. I don't think they're ever the play in the F123 game.
No, but I think maybe he's meaning about the second run. We have seen it work quite a few times, second run. He's beating his time by almost 3/10 so far through sector 2. If he keeps it together, he will improve. But by how much? Look at the timings all the way through. Every little thousandths of a second will count a position here. It's that close.
Yeah, we don't know. I reckon if he can get a couple of tenths out of sector 3 alone, it will be in the top 10.
It's not quite. I mean, look at that. 1:16 dead. But if he had another 10th, he would have maybe got in the top 10. So he may be able to... Nah, that's his qualifying done, isn't it? I don't think he'll be able to get round and in again, will he?
It will be tight. He might be able to do it. It depends how quick his pit crew work when he gets into that pit lane.
He's got to absolutely fly around that track to try and get that done. But currently riding on board with the Mercedes driver who's out to prove something today. I was talking to him earlier, and he's certainly doing well at the minute. Second row of the grid, and he's probably on his final run here, and he's got to get it right. And he just goes slightly wide, and that might affect his time. And at that point, he was dead on his time, and he's given up. He's given up, but he's going to go for another run. I'm not sure what his ERS is looking like, but he's got one last bite of the cherry here.
Yeah, someone I'm watching at the moment is Bumble Goblin, currently sat down in P20. He's only got a 131, had a really poor banker lap, and this is pretty much his last shot at getting a good time on the board.
It is, indeed. So no pressure there for the Williams driver at all. He's got it all to do here, and we see time and time again as well. I've got to say, Lewis Hamilton was very good at that, wasn't it? You know, he'd be in a bit of a slug in the mud moment, and he would pull it out of the bag, although he gets a bit slippery, does the Williams driver through sector 3. Will he improve? I mean, he's got to improve. It's a 131, but is it enough to be competitive in qualifying? Let's have a little look then. He goes and crosses the line. What is it going to be? It's only 18 for 116.2. He will be not impressed with that at all.
No, he's obviously not managed to link up the truck as much as he'd wished. But yeah, like you were saying, Lewis Hamilton back in the mid-2010s, he was a demon of pulling a lap time out of the bag, especially when it was really unexpected from him.
Exactly that. So it wasn't to be there for Bumble, though. Let's go on board with the... No, he's not going for it either. So Carlson then is our pole sitter, and that was his banker lap right off the bat. He's on an out lap at the minute, but now it's going to come thick and fast, isn't it, TK?
Yeah, it's so close. Icebreaker Nick, sorry, just lagged out again in probably the most crucial element of qualifying. So I'll try and get him back in really quickly.
You get him in quick, and now keep on board with... it's going to be difficult to keep an eye on all of the drivers here, because as you can see, the top 8 are all out. So we'll have to see how... Sam's out of qualifying then. He's retired into the pits. That's the best he can do. He's the front row. Sorry, not the front row, the second row of the grid. But your top 3 are all out and all out lap. Matthew Caruana, where is he? Down in 11th at the minute, on an out lap as well. But we've got to ride on board with someone, and I'm going to ride on board with Slapbus. He's coming through sector 2 right now in the Haas. It's going to be a very, very busy track ahead of him. He's got a Ferrari that needs to get out of the way. He's going to affect his stability, especially through here. Can the Ferrari see him? He can't back out. He's got to move out of the way. Oh, no! No, the Ferrari's absolutely bummed him over there. Mansu has done him. Mansu has done him. That he will not be happy. Slapbus will be absolutely furious about that, TK.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened because I was trying to get Icebreaker Nick back in as he was lagged out again. But from the sound of it, there was a collision, and there's actually a collision between teammates further back as Maxi's gone into AVFC Walpole, but Walpole's got the penalty from it.
Well, that's a job for the stewards, but I'm definitely that was a definite block there from the Ferrari driver of it was either F1 Alex. I think it might have been Mansu actually, which that's got to be a slam dunk, I would say. It's got to be a slam dunk for him, so he's got to really impressed out there today. Carlson then on a hot lap, he is not quite. Sector 1, he's pretty much level with his time, so far so good for him. Through Sector 2, he is a 10th up, and not quite in the 114s if he keeps it as it is now. But what is he going to do? He's already on provisional pole, but can he go better here at the Hungarian Grand Prix? It's qualifying, it's the Mercedes, it's Carlson. What is he going to do here? Is he going to secure this pole position? It's a 1:14.852. He's absolutely bossed that lag sector, and we have finally got into the 114s. What a lap time that was.
Yeah, we said we didn't expect to see the 114s. Carlson's pulled out an absolutely mega lap there.
But it's not over yet. Mansu coming around the last bend. What is he going to do here? Is it an improvement? He's third at the minute. What is he going to do? He does not improve. TG Chris doesn't improve at all. So we've got who else just jumped up there? Gagley has gone into third place. So the hammer time did happen there for him. The track is very busy. We're riding on board with the McLaren of Expo. Will he improve as well? He has one race win under his belt already. Does the McLaren driver, but he's got a Williams in front of him that might have affected him. What is he going to do here? He's in 8th place at the minute. Will he cross the line with improvements? Who knows? improves? We're going to find out right now. Is it improved? No, it's not. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying is done. And Carlson puts on a show for us today in qualifying.
Yeah, really great drive from the Mercedes. He had it from the outset. And pulled out a fantastic lap just to secure it right at the end there.
So we said, will we see the 114s? Only one driver making it in the 114. Seems like the track was very technical and very, very busy out there, which was affecting, I believe, a lot of the drivers. TG Christen in second, Gagli in third, Mansu in fourth, Oyster in fifth, Sam in sixth. Great showing there from Sam. Expo in seventh. Our reserve driver of Evelyn Andre coming in as well, putting in a good show for us in eighth place. Not bad at all. The Swedish driver. Slapbus then in ninth. Nathan Clark does get himself in the top 10. But the biggest shock is Matthew Caruana out of the top 10 today in 11th place. Bumble Goblin gets himself up into 12th place in the end. F1 Alex 13th. Z92 in 14th. You've got AFC Wapple in 15th, 16th, I have no idea, 17th, 18th, I have no idea. But hey, we missed out on that one. So up next, TK, it's the race. Are we ready for this?
It is. We've just had a request from Icebreaker Nick if we can not ready up immediately until we get him in.
Is he still not in?
He lagged out about 3 or 4 times. To the point where his AI actually disqualified him.
Well, he's got to get in because it is what it is, isn't it, unfortunately?
Oh, yeah.
But up next then, it's Carlson in the Mercedes taking us away in this race at the minute, putting on their tyre and fuel strategies. What's fuel like around here, TK?
I don't know. It's normally quite a low one. The turns make it so that it's not necessarily full throttle most of the way. But we've seen some issues, especially with Qatar last week. You weren't racing in Prospects. The fuel around there is horrendous.
Well, I'm glad I missed that one anyway, because Qatar was terrible.
Well, it turned out there was about 1.2 laps of fuel a lap, and I underfueled by a lap.
Oh dear!
There was no safety car.
So you were definitely in the mud for that one, right?
I ran out of fuel on lap 27 or 29.
The fuel really does make a difference around here. Here we go. We're going for a formation lap. And Carlson will be heading us off. Carlson showing good pace around here today. And the only driver in 114s. But qualifying is one thing. The race is another.
Hopefully we'll manage to get Icebreaker Nick in before the end of the formation lap.
Well, he's just requested a join, so I'm hoping it will work.
I've just got him an invite anyway.
Now then, it seems like Matthew Caruana is a little bit out of the position there in 11th. So interesting how he will start this race. Very tight circuit into turn 1. And just as you come out the exit of turn 1, it can be a very slippy place to be. On the exit of turn 1, that second short DRS zone. Pretty pointless, I would say, that DRS zone, the second one at the Hungarian Grand Prix, don't you think?
I don't know, it's an overtaking spot for sure, because you go around that little turn on the right and the DRS opens pretty much midway through that turn. So if you can get close enough on the home straight, it encourages you to brake that little bit later and make the racing good. I've seen great overtakes in real life and in esports as well.
Well, I'll put your money where your mouth is today then, and let's see if we can see some good overtakes in this one. Def Peacock needs an invite.
Yeah. So sorry, left. Got him.
I got him.
I got him.
I got you.
Trying to do this.
I got you, babe. I got you, babe.
Trying to do this last week and stream was so difficult.
Oh, bless you, mate. You held the fort well. Right, let's have a look at the tyre choices then. Carlson needs to get a good start here. He's opted for the hard compound tyre. Very mixed strategies out there today.
Yeah, well, he's the only one in the top 12 that has taken that hard tyre. F1 Alex Racing we've seen has normally gone on a more attacking compound off the start, so he's gone a little bit reserved today. And a lot of people at the back as well have gone for the hards as well.
But yeah, interesting choice there. Very split strategies from a lot of the drivers out here today, but we'll see how that unfolds later on, so keep an eye on that. But it's very important that Carlson gets a good start here. We'll be leading the way as we see the last drivers lining up on the grid, getting ready for this round 5 of the Tuatara Championship. There is light here at the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's 5 lights, And there's lights out, and away we go. We've got a great camera angle. He does get away, but the Red Bull is right on him here. He's got to defend. He's pushing right across, but still riding on board. He's got the Alpine going around the outside. Can he get into turn one? He does. Can he keep it stuck? And he does. And TJ Chris looks like he's got it set, but no. The Mercedes fighting back at him. This is fantastic racing from these two. And the Mercedes going to have the inside line into turn three. Who's going to come out on top here? Remember, the Red Bull's got better traction on the mediums. Who's going to go? It's still fighting. This is unbelievable racing on the start of this Grand Prix. You've never seen anything like this before. Unbelievable.
Wow, that was some fantastic racing between the two of them, giving each other absolutely nothing. It looks like Carlson actually had to give that position back as the... Oh, he chooses not to in the end as the virtual safety car comes out.
So we've got a virtual safety car in this race. And what a start that was from them two.
Yeah, really great battling between the two of them, showing exactly how this track is designed to be raced.
It is indeed. So it's a virtual safety car. TGG Chris then does get that position on Carlson. But unfortunately, that we must have had some problems behind because we have the virtual. However, when is it ready to go off? And the thing is, that's crucial for TG Chris as well, that he had that position, because, you know, it is hard to overtake. And once those hards do come into play, he will struggle.
Yeah, he's got to use the tyres to his advantage at this point. We'll see the virtual safety car go in probably the next couple of turns, but there was a bit of chaos at the start. Slapbus ended up in the wall, and Icebreaker Nick having a DNF with his AI, I believe.
So Slapbus and Icebreak DNFing in this race, but look at this then. The race is still... It looks like they're getting ready to go underway, but look at Xbox Silver up 6 places, and Expo as well up 3, now in P4. This is a long virtual.
Yeah, it'll be coming up to a lap as they come around this final bit of bend, and we're expected to come in here. Obviously, where the Slapbus's car was, and in it goes.
And we're green, and it's racing, as we see Mansu going alongside Carlson, trying to get the jump on him on the race restart. And it's looking very, very tight in there. He goes a little bit wide, lets the McLaren come round the outside here, and it's very tight on the track there, and they're just about leaving enough space through this section as they come through the S-bends here. And it's still, how have they done that? Side by side through the chicane, and look at this. Oh, beautiful.
I don't know how they survived that. They were locked wheels at one point, and they managed to get through that really, really well.
Nathan Clark doing bits. We've got a car going off wide. Not sure how that went, but Nathan Clark up into 6th place, started 11th. Was it 11th? Nathan Clark did get in the top 10, but he's up into 6th place already, and he is the guy cooking at the minute. Our reserve driver in the McLaren up into 5th place as well. Mansu Expo now into 3rd place. He's having a great start to this race.
Yeah, the two McLarens are really finding their feet round here, and if Andre can get on the back of Expo, they could really work together as a team here. Yeah,
no, Mansu does need to keep on the back of that McLaren. There's a little bit of a gap there starting to form, but it's crucial that he stays in that DRS zone.
Yeah, especially that the home straight, that double DRS zone effectively. Very similar to Austria last week when you've got back-to-back DRS zones. And
we've got Sam and Matthew Caruana battling it out. Sam's on the mediums, Matthew Caruana on the softs. And Matthew Caruana has had to yield there, and Mercedes stays in front for now.
Yeah, Matt Caruana, we saw this last week in Austria, especially around the faster of the tracks.
Ooh!
He just can't seem to find his grip.
Yeah, talking about grip, I think it was Matthew Caruana there that went a little bit wide and almost lost the car. But the cars are very, very tightly packed at the minute around the start of this race. Only lap 3 of 35. A long way to go here.
Yeah, I think, sorry, speaking of Matt Caruana, he ended up riding that sausage car, which is what unstabled the car a little more than we'd have expected over that turn.
Okay, so like I say, we do have a gap forming. Mansu has managed to get on this group of 4 here. And if they work together, they can really push off together now, as you've got a gap there with Edvin, who is now out of that DRS zone.
Yeah, he's got to really try and get back in that pack. He'll be a sitting duck here without DRS, as we've seen Nathan Clark actually getting the move done down into turn 1.
Nathan Clark then on an absolute charge, but remember, he's on that soft compound tyre, so he has to really make these work and make it count, as he's showing and how it's done at the start of this race. So not bad from Nathan. But like I say, the strategy of the tyre is very mixed on the grid out there today, and we'll have to see how that unfolds later on.
Yeah, we've got Matt Caruana and Bumble Golden both coming into the pits early.
interesting. Lap 4 then, coming off the soft compound tyre. Let's have a look to see if there is damage. Was there damage on these guys' tyres? I don't know. Interesting.
Bumblegolden might have made contact with the slap bus. I'm not quite sure there, and it is a front wing replacement for him.
Expo then is 3 tenths behind. I mean, at this stage of this race, they're doing the right thing, aren't they? They're just following suit, you know. But with him being on that soft tyre, is it affecting him his race? Can he go a little bit quicker, you know, or is he just happy to just stay in third place on those softs at the minute?
I think Expo's got to make the softs work while he's got them, because he's either going to have to go onto the hards till the end here, or do a double stop, probably medium. But these are the quickest tyres he's going to have all race. Yes, he's higher on fuel load, but he's got to make them work, especially with the hards of Carlson in front of him.
Exactly.
There'll be such a time difference between the two cars.
And Carlson is doing a great job at holding on here to the race leader of Chris on those medium tyres, not really pulling away at the minute.
Yeah, we saw it in the race last week. I mean, trying to remember who won it now, but TGT Chris, he was just sat in second place for most of the race, preserving his ERS, preserving his tyres, and then made a dash for the last couple of laps. So
Gagley then in the Alpine, currently in the top 10, trying to battle with Z92, struggling to find grip on those softs. So lap 5 here of 35, and maybe these softs are already starting to overheat and lose their grip.
I wonder if he's used all his softs in qualifying, and these are actually used softs to start the race as well.
Well, whatever it is, his rear end is sliding all over the place, and Gagley, I think, is going to get him here in the DRS. I think it's a matter of time and when. And I think this is where he's going to get him. He gets a good exit here, and I think it's going to be one of the most textbook moves you'll see tonight.
Yeah, easy pass there for Gagley, and his teammate Nathan Clark is in the pit for a fresh set of tyres coming off the softs.
For a minute there, I thought the AlphaTauri was going to sneak back in on the inside, but no, he's got that move done as Gagley, and now up into 8th place. He's 3 seconds away from Sam, so he's really got to get his head down here and see if he can catch onto that pack.
Yeah, Haas is going for a move on the AlphaTauri as well around the outside. Backs off a bit.
I need a name, mate.
Sorry, Dayfield. He was just behind Gagley. He almost looks like he was going to attack Z92 straight off the bat, but both of them on soft tyres, definitely both dying. And they're just slotted back in behind each other again. So
Nathan Clark then did go into the pits, and he's now out in 16th place. So he's want to get rid of, he got rid of the traffic. He got where he needed to get, and I think, you know, it's a very good strategy from him. He's now got a bit, as you see, Mansu getting all a bit wobbly there, but does gather it up. But yeah, no, Nathan Clark, he's thought, do you know what, this is very busy, let's pit early and go long, and that's what his strategy is there. He managed to get up into a good position here to 4th place. No, I think we'll have to wait and see how that unfolds as well, as we see Z92 coming to the pits as well. So we're seeing some pits.
Is Gagley taking a spin? He's dropped down to 15th. I think Gagley's had a spin at the middle of sector 3.
Oh dear, Gagley is not cooking tonight. He's still on the medium compound tyre, so yeah, it's lap 7 of 35, and yeah, you're right, Gagley down into 14th place. His teammate not too far away from him as well, but he's still got a pit, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened. He was up in P9, P8, and then just dropped about 5 positions out of nowhere. By the time I got back to look at him, he was going again. So I wonder if it was just a little spin that allowed some drivers to get past him. What's
very interesting here is the guys out in front are just controlling this race. Carlson on the hard compound tyre, he knows the Red Bull will have to pit before him. But there's got to be a moment where he's going to have to, you know, try and, when he sees those tyres go off, he's going to have to try and get that overtake to him and push out on the lead, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got to try and make his move when he can.
But they've pulled away a little bit from Expo. Oh, hang on! What's happened to Edwin? Edwin's absolutely bottled it! He's spun it out of the last turn! And I'll tell you what, the debut driver in the McLaren today as a reserve. Put a great qualifying session in, but lap 8 of this Grand Prix, he's just lost the back end out the last turn, and I think that's wing damage for him as well.
Yeah, it looks like a front right end plate missing on that McLaren car. It's so easy to go round as you end sector 3 here. If you just get on the power a little bit too early, the car just seems to kick out. Yeah,
there is some slippier parts of this track. It's very technical, isn't it? But also, as you can see, he's struggling out there with that right end plate. But he's got to get into the pits. His race is not over for sure, as he did put himself in a good position, and a bit of free air might do him some well, especially with it being quite a short track.
Yeah, he'll be able to recover this. He's on the medium tyre. I reckon if he can last out a good couple of laps, bang on some hards, he won't see too much of an issue with this.
F1 Alex then just loses the position to the Aston Martin driver of AFC. And he'll be looking to get that back as well. He pulls to the inside, puts a little dummy, tries to put off the Aston Martin, but doesn't work, and AFC does keep his cool. What's important though is F1 Alex is in the DRS, and unfortunately for the Aston Martin, he does not have it from the car in front. So will we see another move here on the Ferrari? He gets it all a bit wrong, does the Aston Martin, and I think this is another textbook move here.
Yeah, almost moves out of the way to allow the Ferrari past it in a bit of an unusual stint, but yeah, F1 Alex getting past quite nicely up into P9.
Yeah, good little move there, kept it cool. I love how he showed the dummy as well. Maybe that did put him off a little bit.
He tried it. Yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh, I like it.
I do. Right, what we got going on then? We've got the top 4 still covered by pretty much 1.5 seconds, so they're still well, racing quite smoothly out there today. Like, they're all biding their time, aren't they?
Yeah, Mansu is on, just holding on to the back of the pack. Expo must be really pushing those tyres. I've seen most of the others have come off the softs already, so I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in maybe next lap or the lap after, if not this lap.
He's getting dragged along. I mean, until he's out of that 1 second mark, I would stay there. You know, until he starts dropping out of that DRS zone, he's making up for the degradation in the DRS zones. And that's why he's sticking with this group. He's doing a great job in those tyres. And like I say, I think the time to come in is when he finds himself out of that DRS zone.
Yeah, a little bit of a kick out there from Expo. Maybe those tyres are really going off. But like I said, that rear wing opened midway through the turns. That probably helped the car get a little bit unstable as well.
Indeed. So what's going on here? Matthew Caruana then makes a move as the headwind does finally reach the pit lane to change that front wing. So a bit of a recovery drive. No safety car as yet. Pretty clean racing so far from these guys. And Matthew Caruana now up into 14th, just ahead of Gagli, who's just come out of the pits.
Yeah, Gagli's come out of the pits, found himself back into E15.
But he's on the hard compound tyre, and the hards will go to the end now. So let's see how...
they should do 25 laps.
They should indeed. So the field's quite spread out at the minute as all the tyre strategies are coming into play. A lot of drivers on very different strategies as we've seen at the start of the race. But how are we going to see Expo come in this lap? No, he's not. He's still found himself in that DRS zone. Incredible job he's doing on those soft tyres.
Yeah, I don't know how these guys are holding up on the soft tyres, Alster and J Field especially, because they're not being dragged along like Expo is.
Yes.
They're properly fighting.
And just keep an eye on Sam in the Mercedes. He's on the medium compound tyre, and as these 4 are starting to just be a little bit comfortable, you've got this Mercedes slowly reeling them in, and could make this a 5-way race here. But he's got to put his head down. You can just see them. He just sees them there, and he's like, oh, he's on a bit of a race on his own. But if he could just about catch up to them, he'll be amongst that pack, and he'll be putting on for a good race as Sam. And like I said earlier, he did say that he wants to prove himself out there today.
Yeah, Sam's head right now, if you remember the old time trial games, you used to have to try and catch up to the cars in front of you. That's essentially what Sam's playing right now. He sees his target, he's just got to be consistent lap after lap, and he knows he can catch them.
We've got a little bit of a battle here for the top 10. Now, with the Ferrari leading the way here of F1 Alex, is on the hard compound tyre, but there's 3 drivers wanting that position back. Now remember, F1 Alex is out of that DRS zone, so he will be vulnerable for attack. And with no ERS left, it could be an opportunity here to Xbox Silver to get himself up into 8th place. But with that being said, he's got Wopple right behind him as well. This could get interesting here, TK.
Yeah, this battle for this is the last of the remaining points essentially, and like we said, it's all about getting as many points as you can. We've seen 1 or 2 be in it for the championship before, and these are crucial moments in this
Clark
race.
Then takes to the inside to turn 1, and that gets him up into 11th place, and he's right amongst this pack now as the Alpine driver. Remember, he's made his pit stop and he's absolutely flying. He's got the Aston Martin as well. Two moves in 2 turns. He's absolutely flying. Can he get the Red Bull as well? My God.
Yeah, he was not comfortable on the softs at all, but these mediums, he's really found his pace around here. He's found the comfortable tyre, and man, is he driving well.
He is indeed, but he can't afford to spend too much time behind him, and he's not messing about either. What a move! Into the chicane we go, and he gets that move done. And I tell you what, this guy is flying out there at the minute.
If he keeps his pace up, he could almost end up on a podium in a couple of laps' time.
Ooh, don't do the commentator's curse now, TK.
I'm saying it. We've had a crash further.
Matthew Caruana! Matthew Caruana has retired from this race. Matthew Caruana, the Commuter Racing Pro driver, is out of this race. What happened?
I have no idea. I'm riding on board with Maxi, who's just coming up to the driver.
The Aston Martin.
I don't know.
Edwin, he's through sector 2. He's lost it. And saying that, so is the McLaren almost there into the wall as we ride on board with him. But unfortunately, the car has been taken away. Matthew Caruana, 2 races in a row. And unfortunately for him, that's 2 races with 0 points.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there for the Williams driver because his car kept going. So I wonder if that was a retirement out of needs rather than a crash. I don't know. We'll check in with Matt Caruana later on and see what happened there.
Very, very unfortunate for Matthew Caruana. He really needed to bounce back today. He's up there in the championship running, but unfortunately for him today, it's a no-go for the points.
Sending a message across the Williams team. We'll hope they're press delicate to get back to us soon.
Nathan Clark is flying once again. He's going to make a move down to the inside here. No, he's going to hold it off. Nathan into 7th place right now and right on the back of Jay Field. But will he have to pit again, TK?
Yeah, I don't know. It's so... I reckon he'll have to. It's going to be close. And,
We've got yellow flags.
Yeah.
Yellow flags there.
Also retired.
Bumble Goblin has retired.
That's a crash. That is a crash. He's lost out that right-hand kink on the left-hand side.
And it's a virtual safety car. It's brought out a virtual safety car. Still no safety car in this race, but it really has helped. The Haas driver of J Field has gone into the pits right at the right time here for him, and that's really helped his race.
I'll tell you what, we've had word back from the Williams press officer. It was an issue with their steering system, which forced the car to retire.
Oh, such a shame. Such a shame. And that's the thing with these, with the wheels and stuff, it does happen. It does happen, unfortunately. We've seen it in the top level as well, where, I think, who was it? I think, how many bits of equipment has he broken?
He's quite infamous for complaining about his pedals, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he is indeed, but no, it can happen. It just proves that these, the drivers are putting so much force into the brakes and pressures. These equipment can get faulty, no different to any other mechanical products that are in the real car themselves. It's the same thing. It happens, and that's just racing as well as the sim racing. Yeah. They go part and part together, don't they?
Well, we've got green lights again. TGT Chris restarts this race, and the chase for P1 is back on with Carlton and Mansu right on his heels.
So Sam then has gone into the pits as well, just as they get the green light. He won't be happy with that, but he's going to go on the hard compound tyre till the end. And Chris is still ahead of Carlson on those hard compound tyres. He's got to start thinking about making moves though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got to make that move. He's got to pull away from Carlson because otherwise he'll be left a sitting duck when Carlson puts on the softer tyres later on in this race.
Indeed, Def Peacock then gets into the top 10, currently 8th place in the AlphaTauri, and F1 Alex up into 7th place on the hard tyre, and he hasn't pitted yet, has he?
No, he's gone all the way on the hard tyres.
Yeah, so he's going long. He's done 14 laps along with the Aston Martins. They're 2 and 6 and 7th at the minute. Not doing a bad job at the minute, are they?
No, I reckon the hard tyres are going to go probably to lap 20. The mediums probably this lap or next lap we'll see some of our drivers in. I'll tell you what though, it was all on Expo who made those softs go, what, 14, 13 laps?
Yeah, that was incredible from Expo as well. And he's come out in 5th place on the medium tyre. So he's going to take the medium tyre to the end as you see a bit of a connection issue. And Bubble Goblin has left the session. That's why we've got a little bit of a glitch there. But Nathan Clark then in 4th place for Expo on those fresh mediums, and he's going to get that move done as he goes a little bit deep into the turn there, does Nathan, but he's going to get the DRS, so this is going to be a battle into turn 1, I can tell you now.
Yeah, it's all about this DRS run. Will Carlson go for a dive? We decided against it. I'm surprised we have not seen a move on that second DRS zone yet, but it just allows the driver to pull that little bit closer as they come into the into sector 2.
Yeah, I think Carlson now is deciding that he's on those hards. He's got to start making those hards count now, hasn't he?
I reckon he can almost still sit behind and wait. He's got to wait for the other guys to pit. That's when he can then start banging out some laps and then pit in when he's low on DRS and the tyres are dead.
Oh yeah, because he's actually going to end up being on the preferred tyre at the end as well, isn't he? Whereas
so he can wait.
But you know, with Chris leading this race, you know, with no attack coming from Carlson, what he's got to be careful of is that Chris doesn't then go, do you know what? I'm doing well here. He's not really attacking much. I'm going to push and see then if I can go on the soft compound tyre. That's where it can go interesting, and that's where I feel like Carlson's going to have to start attacking to really cut off that opportunity for Chris to go onto those the softs.
See, I think it's the other way around. Carlson has the opportunity to go onto the softs as well. So, you know, Carlson can play chicken and duck here. He can almost force Chris's hands, but you can also just sit back and go, if you want to go on the softs, I'll let you go on the softs, but I'm going to have more ERS than you.
That's fair play, fair play. Expo then coming in with the fastest lap of the race so far, a 1:18.37. I expect that to come down throughout this race as the grip gets more and more. We see no rain forecast at the minute. Still looks pretty hunky-dory out there. We see Jay Field getting to 11th place ahead of Def Peacock, who has gone into the pits.
Yeah, he's decided those medium tyres time is up onto the hards for him, and that'll see him out for the rest of this race. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Chris or Mansu heading in probably in the next couple of laps as well.
I think Andre has left.
No, he's still in, but because he's a lapped car, he ghosts.
Oh, right.
I did wonder the same. I thought that was Expo for a while, but no, it's because he's effectively a lapped car, so he'll ghost.
Which is pretty crucial for Chris, because he's going to get the DRS zone here, which is going to be saved for another lap.
Yeah, this is actually really benefiting Chris, and if Chris can hold on, I don't think he's going to be able to for more than a lap. But yeah, it's a nice bit of DRS for our race leader.
Here we go then, Sam takes the move to the inside on the Ferrari of F1 Alex and gets that move done into the turn. Great job there from Sam. We just managed to get that live on stream, and he's found himself now up into 6th place. Sam's having a great race as we see a safety car. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a safety car here on lap 7, and that's going to spice things up.
Yeah, Maxi, one of our reserves, ended up in the wall. Through sector 2. That's brought out the safety car 18 laps into this race.
That's absolutely pissed. Race on now then, isn't it? Because Carlson's obviously going to go onto that medium tyre. Problem is with Chris, he can't go on those softs, can he? Although Expo managed 14 laps. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what this comes out with.
Yeah, there's 17 laps left of this race. Well, there'll be 17 left once they cross the line. I don't think Softs are going to be able to do it here.
Is that, Peterson, is that a little bit better for you, mate?
Was I too quiet on stream?
No, it was the game volume needs to be turned up.
Okay.
It should be better. Let me know in chat, guys, if that sound is a little bit better. Wow, there you go. Let's have a little look and have a bit of a breather here. Woo! Safety car then, lap 18.
I hope it doesn't do the glitch that it did last week. You weren't here, and it was a really funny one. Safety car gets announced that it's coming in.
Oh.
Drivers get... Oh, hello.
Yeah, oh.
That's a great overtake from...
guys,
Ed
battling... Oh,
a great little overtake.
I feel bad.
Anyway.
I feel bad that I've gone off the chat there because that was brilliant.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, so safety car was coming in. All the drivers were prepared, but Mylender just misses the pit lane.
Oh dear.
And drives another lap.
I love that. Fantastic.
It was interesting.
So Sam hasn't pitted. He's gone. Sam hasn't pitted. So
He'd already pitted though, so he can see these hards to the end.
Wow. So. Great.
It's bold.
Great, very bold, but yeah. And the thing is very difficult to overtake. Guys, if you don't know what we're here for, it's Tuatara, round 5. If you don't know what Tuatara are, let's go and check them out while we've got a safety car in this race. Exclamation mark Tuatara. You want 15% off, use code PADDYPAT15. And of course, if you want to keep up to date with all the championship rivalries, the standings, and if you want to rewatch any of the races on YouTube, you can find that on their website as well. So let's get back into this race then under safety car. Sam's going to be leading us the way, and let's take a look at what everyone's done before we get back in. So, under safety car, it's going to go around again, I believe. So let's have a quick look here at what everyone's on, what tyres are on, and stop. So everyone is pitted now, obviously. You've got Sam on 4-lap old hards, so he can definitely take this to the end. Sam's in a great position here. Oyster as well, 7-lap old mediums. They will go to the end, but I'll tell you what, Chris and Carlson, before the safety car went in, they've got a job to do here, haven't they? Interesting, Chris goes on to the hard tyre. He didn't opt for the softs. And Carlson, sorry to Chris, and Carlson is on the mediums. Who's your money's on, PK? Who's your money on?
I think my money's got to be on Carlson here. He's on the softer tyre. He had the pace on the harder tyre as well.
I see a podium for Sam, you know.
If he can hold off here, he's got to get the restart right. But if he gets that restart right, it's going to be amazing.
He's got to hold off Oyster and Expo. They are the two drivers he's got to hold off because, you know, they were fighting with Carlson and Chris, and you know, they're effectively, you know, they were leading this race then too, fighting it out.
See, I'd argue he doesn't have to hold off Oyster.
He wants the race win. He's going to fight for the race win, isn't he? Of course.
Oyster's going to run out of laps on the tyres. He's not going to be able to do 22, 23 laps on
But that's what I'm saying. But it's another driver that Carlson and Chris will have to overtake. And like I say, overtaking can be quite difficult around here. We've seen some great overtakes tonight. But, you know, in order for Sam to race well here, can he hold his nerve? That's the question. I
think his best bet would actually be let Oyster pass, in my opinion. Let him go past, because he'll have to make that next pit stop. And then when he makes that pit stop, he'll drop back into the order.
Yeah, maybe. We'll soon find out as we see race control then letting us know that it's time to go racing. Sam's going to be our effective safety car. And we are almost ready to get this race underway again. Safety car, lap 17. And that really did spice it up again. The field is right amongst each other again. Nathan Clark, keep an eye on him. He's in 7th place. I believe he did pit again. But before we go, let's go. Before we go, let's go. And the race is underway again. And the Mercedes does get a good pull away. The McLaren, though, really on the back of the Alfa Romeo. Is he going to take a lunge down into turn 1? No, he does not. And it's all systems, no change. I'm coming out of him tonight. All systems, no change. Look at the McLaren going around the outside. Beautiful. dribbled. What a move from the McLaren driver of Expo up into second place. And he has got fresh mediums on, so it's going to be very difficult for Sam to defend here, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Sam's going to be a bit of a sitting duck here, especially through sector 2. That's the bit with a lot of turns, a lot of areas.
We're both doing it.
Come into the road.
We're both doing it, TJ. We're both having a
We're bad influence to each other, perhaps.
Oh, here we go. Can Sam hold on? Remember, no DRS for 2 laps here.
I'll tell you what, Expo could be on for a race win here.
He's looking good so
I've
far.
said it now.
You've said it, but he's looking good. But don't write Sam off. Don't write him off.
No. It'll all come down to what happens in sector 2 next lap. It's not going to have much here, probably in terms of straight line speed, because both will be able to defend well with a high ERS level.
And Expo then with those fresher tyres is going to pull to the outside. He's going to get squeezed as much as he can, or as much as he can afford to as a Mercedes. That's a great defence there, but is he going to go for the switchback? Yes he is, but not quite good enough there, so he survives again for one more lap, or does he? The McLaren taking a little lunge to the inside, and he's just left the door open. They're going to be fighting side by side into turn 4 and 5, and it's the Mercedes that gets that move, but really does push that McLaren out wide, but he holds it there, does the McLaren, and they're still fighting it, and the camera's not giving us any good camera looks here as they're still going through, and now it's brought on the Alfa Romeo. This is really close racing as they have to go through the chicane. The Mercedes had to yield. Great racing from them.
Yeah, Expo putting so much pressure on Sam there. Sam had nowhere to go, and that allowed the McLaren to come through, but this has allowed Oyster and actually the other Mercedes of Carlson to get right up to Sam's rear.
Yeah, the thing is with the camera here, it's such a tight track. It's not giving us a great camera view. It's a slight nudge there from Carlson, and the Alfa Romeo goes off the track, loses a few positions, but doesn't get any damage. He's got to get back on it as Oyster. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, Oyster just having to take the escape road down to a little bit of a nudge. Drops him down almost out of the points.
Now then, Carlson on the back of his teammate. Expo is pulling away a little bit here. Is he going to fight his teammate? Or is he going to let him go? And I think he's done himself a favour there. And I think he needs to buy him a beer because Carlson got that move done pretty nicely indeed. But now he's got to do the next job, and that's defend from Chris in the Red Bull.
Tell you what, Nathan Clark's back on the attack again. He's up into P5 after a great pass on Mansu.
Yeah, but he's got a penalty. I'm not sure what he got it for, whether it was speeding or track limits.
He was pushed wide by Mansu.
Oh, so whoa, Mansu! Bloody hellfire! That is crazy racing from them two, and Nathan Clark has gone round Mansu. Not taking any prisoners out there today. Interesting one for the stewards, I think.
Yeah, there's a difference there between hard racing and straight on pushing your competitor off the track there, and definitely will be looked at by our stewards. Nathan Clark's decided that's enough of that, and calls it a day.
Nathan Clark, bloody hell, I wish he just keeps his cool and retires in the pit lane, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have to start dishing out pens in a minute for this. But there you go. Not very good for Nathan Clark there, Mansu. Didn't look like he was racing very smart indeed, but TJ Christo goes... What is Sam doing? Sam's gone into the pits!
Are we going to see a fastest lap attempt, or has he decided that his hards are not competitive enough? He goes on to mediums.
He's gone on to mediums.
Softs would see it out from here if he had a fresh set.
Well, the hards would have seen it out. I don't know what he's done here.
Unless he decided that he just wasn't quick enough on them.
But he was in second place. Interesting strategy call there from Sam.
Yeah.
Very interesting strategy call from Sam. But Expo then has been overtaken by Carlson. Carlson now in the lead, and Chris has got it all to do. So with him getting held up by his teammate there of Sam for a while, he's 1.8 seconds adrift of Expo. And this has really spiced it up, hasn't it, that safety car?
Yeah, Carlson's pretty much raced to win here. Expo just got to hold on for a podium.
Oh, what the flipping hell have I witnessed? It's absolute carnage! It's another safety car! Whoa! Wow! Oh my God, it's getting a bit tasty out there now.
What happened there?
The drivers are really pushing themselves here. A bit too much, I would say. I think this is one of the tracks that you have to stay patient. You know, and I think a couple of drivers, like, you know, there's 7 drivers DNF in here. Obviously, some through technical fault of their own, mechanical malfunction on the simulators.
Yeah.
But in the past 5 minutes, I've seen some very impatient moves, and it's not ideal out there. But that's the thing with this track, you know, you have to be patient. You look to the first stint of this race, you had 4 drivers out in front, just being patient, you know, and that really does pay off, doesn't it?
Yeah, sometimes it's just about biding your time with the moves. I mean, there's still 10 laps in this race, for goodness sake. You know, that's 10 opportunities on the home straight to pass alone. You don't want to be sending it in to random corners hoping that you'll get an advantage, because that's never going to work.
No, especially around the Hungarian Grand Prix. The track, as you can see, can only just about get 2 cars side by side at high speeds at times. So, you know, that's the way it is. That's the way racing goes. Some people, you know, take those moves and it's either do or die moments, and unfortunately we've had a lot of die moments out there today, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do call Hungary the faster Monaco, and it's really come to show that some drivers here just aren't respecting how tight and technical this track can be.
Indeed, and that's why to win this championship you've got to be an all-rounder and the best of the best. And so far, Gagli is now leading this race. Let's have a little look. Are we going to see any guys coming for those soft tyres?
Well, we've seen Carlson come in already. We've seen Alster come in. Mansu, Chris, and Walpole have all come in for fresh mediums, as has F1 Alex. Sam might have predicted this early. He came in for mediums a lap early, so he's found himself in P9. But Expo, Gagli, Z92 have decided not to pit.
So he's I mean, Sam will be kicking himself there because he was on the hard tyre. They would have gone to the end, and you know, if he wanted to pit, he could have pitted into the safety car anyway. But I don't know. I feel like Sam's strategy there has kind of done him a little bit. But we'll see how it goes. He was very fast in qualifying, and he was staying up with the big boys, wasn't he?
Yeah.
In the first stint. So let's see what he can do here. He's in a point finishing position as it stands, and like I said, those mediums will get him to the end. But not many people pitting.
Well, I think pretty much most of the grid pit, apart from 4 drivers, as soon as the safety car came out. So yeah, we had 8 drivers in the pits quite quickly altogether.
Oyster, yes, we caught that on stream. I'm not going to say he pushed you off because that's up to the stewards, but obviously you have to have your own footage as well, mate. All right, so I don't know, but we did catch it on stream, buddy. If you wanted to watch it, we watch it. Mate, I'm very tongue-tied today.
Wanting to rewatch it back, that's a great.
I'm just really tongue-tied today. Like, I'm saying some random things. That week off has not done me any favours.
No, it's actually
just straight up. No, it hasn't. You're shit. Okay, I believe the safety car is going to be in this lap. Gagli leading the way. Now, someone said in the chat before the race, Gagli's going to be cooking today. And with a bit of help from the safety car, he's found himself into P1 in the Alpine car, up the Alpines, and leading the way here. Ryan Chiv in Z92, and once again, Carlson has gone onto the soft tyre. I didn't see that.
Who got Carlson?
Carlson went on the softs.
Yeah, I said he pitted.
Oh, but not on that second safety car, sorry.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, Andre, you had a great qualifier and a great first stint of the race. But yeah, things were getting a bit impatient for a few drivers, so make sure you get those clips into the stewards, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. Here we go then. Gagli, when is he going to pull off?
Oh, Expo's got into the back of Carlson, got himself a 5-second penalty.
Interesting. I'm sure that will get sorted out at the end of this race. Stewards have got a busy job out there today, with it being, like you said, the faster Monaco. Or whatever you call it. See what I mean? I can't even get it right. Mansu up to 4th place, battling it. Oh my God, guys, give each other space. They've got themselves tangled up. It's bloody hell. And it really is a bit of a mess out there at the minute. Carlson got himself up to 2nd place straight off the bat as there's battling going on behind. And people are just really not wanting to yield out there tonight.
Well, that's taken 3 of our top 4. Chris Ekman, Mansu, pretty much out the points here.
And check out Sam in the Mercedes, up into 5th place, doing an incredible job. And he goes to have an attack on Oyster. Oyster, however, defending like a Trojan and cuts that door and slams that shut. And once again, tongue-tied again.
Yeah, Mansu retires on the track. He was fed up with that move and leaves the circuit as well. So he's out. He's in P12. No points for the driver that was running in P4 for a lot of this race.
And look at Oyster then, having a little sneaky move there. And I tell you what, Ryan Chiv did well there to give him the space, because I didn't think he was on the cuff there of deserving it. And all the time here, Sam is having a little look at these two as well. This is getting juicy.
Yeah, Sam goes down the inside of Ryan Chiv. Will he get the move on the exit? Just doesn't have the grip to pull away. Ryan Chiv has the better straight line speed on this occasion.
He does indeed. I tell you what, look at that speed. He's gathered himself up there, and look at this! Sam goes to the inside, and nearly got both of them. Sam's up into 4th place. Ho-ho-ho! This is getting spicy.
Sam is really on a good charge here. Podium could be on for him here.
It is indeed. Sam then just stays out of trouble. There was a slight touch of wheels there with him and who was it again?
Ryan Chiv.
Ryan Chiv, but both of them come away unscathed. Sam on top then into 4th place, and he's already on the back of Oyster. Carlson, however, back up in front.
Yeah, it's really, really close. Ryan Chiv looks like he's dropping positions. He's on 10-lap hold mediums. They're just not comfortable for him with the quicker tyres around him.
Yeah, he's got Waffle then, which probably will be one of his highest scoring points if he stays in this position as Waffle, but he doesn't want 6th. He wants to try 5th place. He's really trying to go for it there. But let's ride on board with the top runners here for this last podium places. Will Sam be able to get it? He's on the back of Gagley and Oyster. Now, remember, Gagley, one of his tyres on, I don't know, but Oyster is really trying his best here to get the move done. As all the while, Gagley is just pulling away a little bit, isn't he?
Well, Gagley's actually losing time to Carlson in front of him. Gagley's tyres dying off as we see Alster dive down the inside of turn 2. Or turn 3 rather, actually. And will he get the move done? Yes, he does. Great move by Alster there.
Oyster up into 2nd place and having a race of the season for himself. And Sam is not too far away as well. Remember, the penalties will be applied after the race. And these guys at the minute are clean, but are they on the last warning? We don't know. Let's see if Sam can prove himself and get himself into 3rd place. Remember, his teammate is up in P1, so what a great showing that would be for the Mercedes.
Yeah, it'd be great to have a double podium. This will be Sam's first points of the season as well if he just keeps it consistent. And what a great way to get your first points finish with the podium here.
It is indeed, especially with him not happy with his first half of the season. I say first half, this counts for the halfway point, doesn't it?
Yeah, it will be after this race we're halfway through the season.
F1 Alex in 7th place, battling it out as well. It's getting very busy on track, isn't it? Look at this. And F1 Alex just been a bit careful out there at the minute, but he don't want to be too careful because he doesn't want to lose too many positions.
Yeah, DRS now coming into play again.
Sam gets the move. Sam does get that move done on Alpine driver Gagley, and he's up in the 3rd place. And I tell you what, I reckon he fancies P2 here.
I reckon he will. Oyster's not making those softs work as much as we would have thought. And Sam is now on a charge. He knows in a couple of laps.
F1 Alex, sorry, I got it in trouble. F1 Alex is racing side by side with the Red Bull driver of Xbox Gulfer. Who's going to come out on top on this occasion is F1 Alex. F1 Alex keeps to 8th place. And I just think this is going to get very, very busy indeed. 5 laps left, TK.
Yeah, so many battles going on. The top, well, pretty much second down to 11th. The left and the second separate most of them on this track. Less than a few hundred metres separates all of them, really.
It's just a shame there's only 11 drivers left in this race. What is funny is we had Expo in the first half of the race racing very well, and he's outside points at the minute.
Yeah, I wonder if he had a little bit of a spin or something, maybe strategy's just not gone well. He gets himself back up into P10 here on a move on Death Peacock. And
I tell you what, Sam is on that rear diffuser. He couldn't be any closer if he tried. And Sam really does sniff a 1-2 for the Mercedes here. He's got the DRS. I don't think he can do anything about this. It's going to happen. Here it is then. Sam in the Mercedes takes P2 to turn 1. And it's a 1-2 at the minute for the Mercedes. Can they hold on with 4 laps left to go?
Yeah, Sam gets our second batch of DRS after turn 1. Obviously, it carries over from the home straight, gets a little bit more ground than Oyster, and now he's got to pull away.
This would be an absolute comeback for Sam of the season so far, especially after our little chat today. And look at him go. And what a result it will be for Mercedes drivers
Oyster's
as well.
got a penalty. Oyster's got a penalty.
Oh no! And I see that's crucial on these last stages with the drivers so close together. F1 Alex has now dropped off a little bit there to Chris. TDD Chris is down in 6th place.
Yeah, he was involved in that accident with Manto and Expo right on the restart and actually found himself out the points at one point. He has had a heck of a drive after the safety car restart to get back to where he is.
Yeah, very unfortunate for him. Him and Carlson were really going at it. It was a battle of the minds between them two. Unfortunate for that incident that happened, but it looks like he did come away unscathed. And like I say, he's now having a bit of a drive, a comeback, and on the back of Gagley. And I think Gagley's tyres have just had enough out there. And I tell you what, Chris here with 3 laps left to go, he can get himself, I reckon, into 4th place. As you see, maybe even 3rd. He could get a podium. He's going to get a podium, isn't he? Keep an eye on.
You can go last to first in 10 laps.
Imagine it.
Or last to podium in 10 laps.
And Wapple and Oyster are battling it out here as well on these last few laps. And I think those soft tyres have had enough, and it's all coming into play now. Carlson, though, a masterclass out there, 6 seconds ahead of anyone.
Yeah, 6 seconds ahead of his teammate. His teammate's 2.5 seconds clear of 3rd place, and Chris is binding down on 3rd and 4th here.
He really is, and this is the place to be, the place to watch. Absolutely incredible racing. Unfortunately today we've had a few incidents, but like you said, it is a bit of a Monaco track. But I tell you what, we've had a lot more overtakes than I thought we would.
We've had none after turn 1 though. I want one.
I told you it doesn't though, didn't I? I said
there's still 3 laps to go. It's going to happen.
If it's going to happen, it's going to be this man here as he goes side by side with Oyster. Great racing from these two. He's not giving that position up easy, is he? He's still going to fight it. Who's going to get the DRS to go wide together? And Oyster is just holding on. But is he going to come back? His tyres might be dead, but he's got that DRS. What can he do on the straight?
Yeah, he's got to get that DRS to play here. He'll have the 2 doses of it. The one here and the one after turn 1. He's got to play it a little bit strategically.
He's got to go for it. It's his last chance. He's gone for it. There's a slight little touch there. But TG Chris comes out on top. Great little drive from them two. And he's got no time to breathe because Gagley is coming back at him again.
I thought that was going to class an overtake after turn 1 for a second. It got me excited. They just pulled out of it, though, unfortunately, on that occasion.
Oh, wow, this is incredible stuff. Lap 33 of 35, and Chris now is in 4th place. He's 1.2 seconds behind Wapple. Can he get on the back and get that podium? But remember, actually, he's got a penalty.
Yeah, he's got that 3-second penalty, so he's going to have to pass. And he'll then have basically 2 laps. If he can get past on this lap, he'll have 2 laps to pull 3 seconds. And it just depends on how much the tyres are working for Walpole here.
But he's going wide quite a lot. He's got to be careful. He doesn't actually pick up any more.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to check if it's just a 3-second or if it's more. It is just a 3-second.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Oh, bit exciting. He's in the DRS zone, is Chris, on AFC. Yeah. And I've got to give it to AFC. He's driven this race so far without any penalties. And I believe this will be his highest points position if he can hold on. And he gets that podium as well for the first time in this league.
Yeah, even if he finishes 10th, it'll be his highest points finish of the league so far. But he's driven really well, and this battle is actually just helping Sam pull away Gap even more to secure that 1-2 finish from Mercedes here.
Exactly, and the thing is, this is what's so interesting about this league is that, you know, there's 2 drivers potentially going to get a podium here that have not had a single point in this 4-race championship so far, and they both potentially could get really good haul of points, and both of them on the podium. That is Sam and AFC Waffle. So if they can hold on, it's going to be a great night for them.
Yeah, really, really good night for them. And so don't forget Alex Racing as well. He's currently not scored any points. Neither is Death Peacock. So, he finds himself in P10 at the moment.
Wow, so mate, interesting enough, a lot of drivers out there picking up their first points in this championship at a track that is very difficult.
I mean, it's a curveball in the season. We're on to the last lap as Carlson comes across the line, and this is where it all comes down to play for.
There's a Wapple then, still holding off Chris. And Chris could end up losing to Gagli as well. Gagli doing a great job. He's gone to the inside then as Chris, and he's got the move done. But I think he's just got to hold on here for one lap. I'm sure he'll be able to do it. He's going to get that DRS zone. No, he's not. It's the second
doesn't
one,
have to make a mistake.
F1 Alex, though. F1 Alex is not finished yet. He's swapping places with the Alfa Romeo and going around the outside. Oh, there's a slight touch there, but he just managed to gather it. Does Oyster? Oyster is not having a good time on those softs, is he?
Yeah, no, they're really burning up a lot quicker than a lot of our drivers probably anticipated here, as we see most of them down 7th and onwards. And
he's the man of the day, and has been the man for a few times here in this Tuatara Championship. Now remember to stay with us, because we will get the podium sitters into the comms box for their debrief and let us know how they're going and how the race went. But it's this man, once again, is going to take a race win here at this Hungarian Grand Prix. It's Budapest, it's the Mercedes, it's Carlson, and he takes the checkered flag by 9 seconds. What a masterclass, and what a masterclass for the Mercedes. It's going to be a 1-2. Sam, what an incredible job. Great effort, and you can see how chuffed he is there. Absolute amazing stuff. Chris gets third, but AFC Wapple takes it after penalties. Great job. Wow, what a race.
Yeah, really great race by the two Mercedes guys. We didn't see it was going to happen. Sam, who scored no points all season, has come back to basically score a great second place podium there. Really great drive from him.
Absolute fantastic. He said he was going to do it before the race in the Discord. He's had a crappy first half. He said he's practiced, he's going to put a marker down, and he has done that as well. But don't take anything away from the race winner, Carlson. Carlson, he's just seemed to be proving week after week, doesn't he?
He does. This guy is driven really well. There's a reason he's leading this championship, and it's just because he's fantastic at what he does.
Absolutely incredible stuff. I do believe the stewards will be busy out there today. So Carlson then does take that win. Sam P2, congratulations to both the Mercedes picking up maximum points that Mercedes could pick up. 1, 2 and fastest lap. So great day for the Mercedes drivers. AFC Wapple in third place. First time he's finished in the points, and it's a podium for him. He started last on the grid. What a drive. TG Chris couldn't quite get on that podium in the end, having that 3 second, with that little collision or whatever as well. Gagli in 5th. Alex picking up his first points of the season as well in 6th place. Great drive from him. Oyster in 7th. Ryan Schiff in 8th. Gulver in 9th, and Expo in 10th, rounding off that top 10. However, that is provisional. We'll see how the stewards change and maybe that. But we will see you into the comms podium debrief.
Let's hop into the podium interview, shall we? Your mic's muted.
Well, what a race that was. We have our race winner here, Carlson. What do you think of that race? That was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah. it was good. I don't know what to say.
All right, Kimi Räikkönen, chill out, bro.
Yeah.
So that first stint with you and Mansu is really interesting to see how you two were really battling it out, obviously on the two different tyre strategies. You know, before the safety cars came out, what were you thinking up until that point?
I was just staying behind because he had the better tyres and just towed me along.
Yeah, we did think that that was the case. But all got a bit messy towards that second and third stint. A lot of drivers making some interesting moves. But for you, you just stayed calm out there and didn't let anyone really get in the way of what your driving strategy was. And, you know, there's a reason why you're leading this championship, and I think you're doing a great job. Yeah, I mean, what do you got anything to say, TK?
Just fantastic drive all around, mate. What was your sort of mentality that safety car? You know, you were leading by a good way, and the safety car comes out. What are you thinking to yourself when that happens?
The first one.
Yes.
Yeah, I was quite happy with it actually because Chris and Mansu had mediums, and I had hards. So either they had to pit for softs, which have been fucked at the end with their tires, or hards, which was going to be worse than the mediums. So I was on the upper hand there.
I
But
mean,
then the other safety car came out, and
yeah.
I just sent it. I know there's gonna be like 8-7 race laps left, so I just sent it.
I mean, for
I
me,
didn't know how many. Yeah.
watching that second safety car, it was like, oh wow, these guys have like dominated through this race, and then you had about 6 or 7 cars to overtake, and some of these guys already just pitted. What was interesting to me, which is what we'll talk to hopefully if Sam joins, if you can get him to come in, TK.
His mic doesn't work, unfortunately.
Oh, it's a shame. Is how to keep cool in that. Obviously, the Hungarian Grand Prix is a very tricky track to overtake, and obviously when you see yourself down into 6th place and all of these guys don't need to pit to go through the overtakes was just fantastic. Like, what was that point like for you?
I know I had the better tires. I just took it very easily. When I saw a mistake, I would send it, but no risk.
Yeah, and that was definitely crucial in that race. We've seen a lot of, we said before the race, didn't we, TK, that, this is a sort of track that you have to be very, very patient, and you get rewarded by taking it no risks at all. And that leads us on to our other podium sitter, AFC Wapple. Congratulations to you. Hasn't been a great start to the season for you, but you've picked up your first points of the season, and by gosh, what a way to do it, starting last on the grid.
Yeah, I did not expect that starting last, but yeah, I just kept it clean and stayed out of incidents, and luckily I got 3rd place.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great race from you. But can you just talk us through a little bit on how you managed to what's the word? I can't think of any words today, TK. Manipulate through the traffic from starting at the back.
I honestly don't know. It was just being in the right places at the right time. I mean, I nearly got collected in a 3-car incident just after the last safety car restart, but I just managed to swerve out the way. He was just keeping it clean.
Yeah, I mean, we did see that. Unfortunately, TTG Chris was involved in that incident as well, which kind of brought him back and had to fight his way through. And obviously, the last few laps, they was fighting with you. But of course, you would have seen the penalty there, so there wasn't much of anything to worry about.
No. I mean, I knew he had the penalty, yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't fight him too hard because I didn't want to take myself out. So, yeah. And
with this being your first points of the season, how are you going to approach? Does that give you confidence for the second half? Or like, how are you going to approach the second half now?
Well, more of the same, really. Just try and keep it clean in the races, try and avoid incidents. I can't really say much else, really, because I just.
You don't want to jinx yourself for next week.
No.
Oh, well, brilliant stuff. Absolutely fantastic race. Only 11 drivers finished. That's how difficult that track was. You've got to remember, we've got 20 drivers on track that, have to qualify for this league. So all these drivers do have the potential to be consistent, patient, and race very quick. So to say that only 11 drivers finished, it is a very, very challenging track out there. And you guys are at the top of it. So congratulations to you, Carlson and Sam. Very unfortunate we can't get Sam into the comms at the minute, but apparently his mic doesn't work and nor does his phone. Maybe he's a bit shy. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Any last words from you, Carlson, as you are going into the second half, leading this championship?
Not really.
Standard.
Was...
Right. Kimi Räikkönen, eat your heart out right here, guys. That's getting clipped. Right, thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been an incredible race. Thank you very much. Goodbye. We'll see you next week, Monday, 8 p.m. See, I can't even... There we go. Bye.